Have you noticed yourself feeling just a little less steady lately? Maybe it happens when you stand up too fast. Maybe when you turn around quickly. Maybe when you walk across the room at night and your body does not feel quite as sure as it used to. For many adults over 60, balance changes do not show up all at once. They often begin quietly, with small moments that are easy to brush off. Holding onto the counter a little more often. Feeling less stable on one foot. Moving more carefully without really thinking about it. And that is exactly why this matters, because balance problems do not always start with a dramatic fall. Very often, they start with subtle warning signs first. The earlier you notice those signs, the sooner you can pay attention to what your body may be asking for. In this video, I am going to walk you through 3 simple home tests that may help you check how steady and controlled your balance feels right now. These tests are easy to do, take only a few minutes, and can give you a better sense of how confidently your body handles everyday movement. Now, one important note before we begin. This video is for general educational purposes only. These tests are not meant to diagnose any medical condition, and they are not a substitute for medical advice, evaluation, or treatment from a qualified healthcare professional. If you have a history of falls, dizziness, fainting, severe weakness, or any condition that affects your movement or balance, talk with a healthcare professional before trying them, and please do these carefully. Stand near a sturdy chair, counter, or another stable surface for support, and stop right away if anything feels unsafe. With that said, let us begin with the first balance check. It looks simple, but for many people, it is more revealing than expected. The first test is the one-leg stand. This is one of the easiest ways to get a general sense of how well your body handles balance when support is reduced. And that matters more than many people realize. In daily life, you briefly rely on one leg at a time more often than you think. When you step over a curb, put on pants, turn while walking, or climb a step, your body has to steady itself quickly and smoothly. That is why this test can be so useful. Before you begin, stand next to a sturdy chair, kitchen counter, or another stable surface you can reach immediately if needed. Do not try this in the middle of an open room. Wear supportive shoes or stand safely on a firm, non-slippery surface. Safety comes first. Now stand tall with both feet flat on the floor. Keep your posture relaxed, not stiff. Then slowly lift one foot just a few inches off the ground. Hold that position for a few seconds, only as long as you feel steady and in control. Then lower your foot and repeat on the other side. As you do this, pay close attention to what you notice. Do you feel fairly steady? Or do you begin swaying right away? Do you need to grab support almost immediately? Does one side feel noticeably easier or stronger than the other? Do you tense up more than you expected just trying to stay balanced? Those details matter. This test is not about proving anything. It is simply a way to notice how your body responds when balance is challenged. If this feels harder than expected, it does not automatically mean something is seriously wrong. Balance can be influenced by many things, including lower body strength, joint stiffness, vision changes, footwear, and how often you practice movements that challenge stability. What matters most here is awareness. If one side feels weaker, shakier, or less controlled, that is useful information. It may be a sign that your balance deserves more attention than you realized. And that brings us to the second test, where we look at something even more important for daily life, how well you control your body when standing up and sitting back down. Now let us move to the second balance check. And for many adults, this is where things become even more revealing. The second test is the sit-to-stand test. At first glance, standing up from a chair may not seem like much of a balance test. It feels so ordinary that most people barely think about it. But in real life, this simple movement asks your body to do several important things at once. Your legs need enough strength to lift you. Your core needs to help keep you stable. And your balance system needs to guide your body smoothly as your weight shifts from the chair to your feet. That is exactly why this test matters. Many balance issues do not show up when someone is simply standing still. They show up during transitions. The moment you rise from a chair, get off the couch, or stand up from the bed, your body has to coordinate strength, control, and stability all at once. And if one part of that system is not working as well as it used to, this movement can start to feel slower, shakier, or less controlled. To try this test, choose a sturdy chair that does not roll, slide, or wobble. Sit near the front of the seat with both feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. If you feel safe doing so, cross your arms over your chest or rest your hands lightly on your thighs. Then slowly stand up in a controlled way. Once you are fully upright, pause for a moment. Then slowly lower yourself back down into the chair. As you do this, notice what happens. Do you need to push hard with your hands to get up? Do you rock forward more than once before standing? Do you feel unsteady once you are fully upright? And when you sit back down, do you stay in control or do you drop into the chair faster than you meant to? Those details are important. This test is not meant to diagnose a medical condition. It is simply a practical way to notice how confidently your body handles one of the most common movements in daily life. If this feels harder than expected, do not panic, but do pay attention. It may be your body's way of telling you that strength, balance, and movement control need a little more support. And that leads us to the third and final balance check, where the challenge becomes even more obvious because now we are looking at balance during movement. The third test is the heel-to-toe walk. After checking how steady you feel on one leg and how well you control your body while standing up and sitting down, the next step is to see what happens when you move in a more narrow and controlled pattern. This is where many adults notice something they had not fully recognized before. That is because balance is not only about standing still. It matters when you walk through a hallway, turn in a small space, step around furniture, or move across your home without feeling unsure. And while regular walking can sometimes hide small changes, a narrower walking pattern can make those changes easier to notice. To try this test, find a clear, flat area of floor with no clutter nearby. Stand close to a wall, counter, or another solid surface if you need support. Then begin walking slowly in a straight line by placing the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other foot. Take a few careful steps at a pace that feels safe and controlled. As you do this, pay attention to what your body is telling you. Do you stay fairly steady or do you begin drifting offline? Do your arms lift out quickly to help you balance? Do you feel uncertain after only a step or two? Does the movement feel smooth and controlled or tense and unsteady? These observations can be very useful. Sometimes the body compensates well enough during normal walking that a person does not notice a problem right away. But when the path becomes narrower, balance has to work harder. That is when subtle instability may become easier to see. Again, this test is not designed to diagnose any medical condition, and difficulty with it does not automatically point to one specific cause. It is simply another way to observe how your body responds when balance is challenged during movement. If this final test felt harder than you expected, that is worth noticing. It may be a sign that your balance needs more attention than you realized. In the final part, we will bring all three tests together and talk about what these results may be telling you and why paying attention now can make a real difference later. Now that you have gone through all three balance checks, you may have a much clearer sense of how your body is handling everyday movement right now. Maybe these tests felt easy. Maybe one of them felt harder than you expected. Or maybe you noticed something subtle, like one side feeling less steady, less controlled, or less confident than the other. Whatever you experience, the most important thing is this: do not be hard on yourself. These simple home checks are not about judging your body. They are not about labeling you, and they are not meant to diagnose a medical problem. They are simply about awareness. And that awareness can be incredibly valuable, because for many adults, balance changes do not happen all at once. They happen gradually, quietly, often in ways that are easy to dismiss at first. You may start moving a little more carefully. You may reach for furniture more often without even thinking about it. You may feel less comfortable turning quickly, stepping over objects, or standing up from a chair. These moments may seem small, but they can be meaningful. And the earlier you notice them, the earlier you can take them seriously. That is what makes these 3 tests so useful. The one leg stand helps you notice single side stability. The sit to stand test shows you how well your body handles one of the most important daily movements. And the heel to toe walk gives you a clearer picture of how steady you feel when balance is challenged during movement. Each test reveals something slightly different, but together they can give you a more complete view of how stable, controlled, and confident your movement feels right now. If one or more of these tests felt difficult, that does not mean you should panic. It simply means your body may benefit from more attention. And if balance problems, dizziness, weakness, or falls have been part of your experience, it may be a good idea to speak with a qualified healthcare professional for personal guidance. This video is not a diagnosis, and it is not a substitute for medical care. It is a simple educational tool to help you notice changes that may deserve follow-up. And there is something encouraging in that. Balance is not only about avoiding falls, it is also about protecting independence, confidence, and quality of life. Feeling steady when you walk through your home, get up from a chair, or move through your normal routine can make a real difference in how safe and capable you feel each day. Small signs are worth paying attention to, because small actions taken early may help support better movement over time. If you tried these 3 tests, I would really like to know which one felt the hardest for you. Was it the one leg stand, the sit to stand test, or the heel to toe walk? Let me know in the comments. Your experience may help someone else realize they are not alone. And if this video was helpful, stay with the channel for more simple, practical senior health content to help you stay steady, active, and informed.